just became too much.
Marinovich was arrested linked to banned small amount of cocaine.
His drug use was
Todd Marinovich was groomed from a young age to be the perfect quarterback, destined for NFL greatness. However, behind the image of an ideal player, he struggled with a severe drug addiction that started early and only worsened as his career progressed. His multiple arrests, including assault cases, severely damaged his reputation. But before we proceed, make sure to subscribe. Todd Marinovich has had a long history of arrests, most of which are tied to his ongoing struggles with drugs. In fact, just in Orange County, California, he faced 9 arrests related to his addiction. His first arrest came in 1991 when he was still a student at USC, caught in possession of cocaine. In 1997, Marinovich found himself in trouble again, this time arrested for suspicion of growing marijuana. As a result, he served 2 months in jail and spent another month at a minimum security facility in Orange County known as the Farm. Things only got worse from there. In April 2000, he was arrested on charges of sexual assault, and just a year later, in 2001, he was arrested again, this time on suspicion of heroin possession. His downward spiral continued into 2004. When Newport Beach police arrested him for skateboarding in a restricted area. Not long after, in May 2005, he was found in a public bathroom in Newport Beach with drug paraphernalia. By this point, Marinovich described himself as an unemployed artist and even referred to himself as an anarchist. As a result of this arrest, he was ordered to undergo 6 months of drug rehabilitation, followed by another 6 months of outpatient treatment. But the damage to his life and career had already taken a heavy toll. In August 2007, Marinovich found himself in trouble once again. This time, he was arrested and charged with felony drug possession and resisting a police order after being stopped for skateboarding near the Newport Pier boardwalk. Just a few months later, on October 30th, 2007, Marinovich pleaded guilty to felony possession of a small amount of methamphetamine, as well as misdemeanor charges for syringe possession and resisting arrest. Despite his legal issues, Orange County Superior Court Commissioner James Adriozola decided to give him another chance. Rather than sending him straight to jail, he was released into a rehab program in Laguna Beach, offering him an opportunity to turn things around. For a while, it seemed like Marinovich was on the right track. During a period of sobriety from 2007 to 2008, he dedicated himself to helping others who were struggling with addiction. He worked with the National Drug and Alcohol Treatment Centers in Newport Beach, focusing on helping young athletes overcome addiction and stay clean. His efforts were recognized, and after a year of sobriety in August 2008, he was hired as a lecturer by Newport Coast Recovery, a drug and alcohol treatment facility. Things were looking up for Marinovich, and however, his progress was short-lived. On April 4, 2009, Marinovich was arrested once again in Newport Beach after failing to appear in court for a progress review related to his 2007 arrest. This time, the court ordered him to be held in jail without bail until his hearing on May 4th. But his legal troubles didn't stop there. On August 22, 2016, Marinovich's life took another bizarre turn when he was arrested in Irvine, California. Authorities found him naked in a neighbor's backyard, attempting to open the sliding glass door of the house. He was cited for trespassing, possession of a controlled substance, drug paraphernalia, and marijuana. Marinovich was sentenced to 90 days in jail, but the court offered him a chance to avoid serving time if he completed a successful rehab program and stayed out of trouble for 36 months.
Now that I've treated it, the problem has been removed, and now it's my responsibility to keep it removed.
Speaking of his NFL career, which got interrupted because of his drug abuse,
and now the focus shifts to young Todd Marinovich. Defensive coaches will want to test him before long. Marinovich snaps one to the left to goal.
In the 1991 NFL Draft, Marinovich was selected by the Los Angeles Raiders in the first round as the 24th overall pick. He was the second quarterback taken in the draft, ahead of future Hall of Famer Brett Favre. Marinovich signed a 3-year deal worth $2.25 million, and there were high hopes for his future. He made his NFL debut on Monday Night Football in an exhibition game against the Dallas Cowboys on August 12, 1991. With just 15 minutes left in the game, Marinovich took charge, moving the Raiders down the field, completing 3 out of 4 passes for 16 yards and throwing a touchdown. It was a promising start, but he didn't get a chance to start a regular season game until the last week when starting quarterback Jay Schroeder was injured. In that game against the Kansas City Chiefs, Marinovich impressed with 23 completions on 40 attempts, throwing for 243 yards despite a close loss. His solid performance earned him the start in the following week's playoff game, also against the Chiefs. However, it didn't go as planned. He threw for only 140 yards and was intercepted 4 times in a 10-6 loss, venting his frustration by smashing a locker room mirror with his helmet. In 1992, the Raiders began the season 0-2 with Schroeder as the starter, and Marinovich was given the chance to take over. In his first start of the season, he threw for an impressive 395 yards but lost the game. The following week also ended in a loss, putting the Raiders at 0-4. However, Marinovich rebounded by winning 3 of his next 4 starts, showing promise, especially in a game against the Buffalo Bills, where he threw for 188 yards and 2 touchdowns in a 23 victory. Unfortunately, things took a turn when Marinovich struggled against the Philadelphia Eagles, throwing 3 interceptions in just 10 pass attempts. Schroeder regained the starting job, and Marinovich never played in the NFL again. Throughout his short NFL career, Marinovich's substance abuse problems were a constant issue. He was known for partying and using drugs, escalating beyond marijuana during his rookie season. Marinovich even admitted to taking pharmaceutical amphetamines before games to boost his performance. Due to his college arrest for cocaine possession, the NFL required him to take frequent drug tests. While he managed to pass the test by using other people's urine, one attempt backfired when he used a teammate's urine, which resulted in a test showing a blood alcohol level 4 times the legal limit. This incident forced the Raiders to intervene, and Marinovich was sent to rehab after the 1991 season, spending 45 days in a treatment facility. Despite the intervention, Marinovich continued to struggle. During the 1992 season, he turned to using LSD after games, as it wouldn't show up on drug tests. His performance on the field began to suffer, and coaches started complaining that he couldn't grasp the playbook. He failed another NFL drug test and was sent back to rehab. Before the 1993 season, he failed yet another drug test, this time for marijuana, and was suspended for the entire season. The Raiders released him, deciding not to pay his salary during the suspension, especially with the salary cap set to take effect the following year. After his suspension was lifted in 1994, the Pittsburgh Steelers showed some interest in Marinovich as a possible third-string quarterback behind Neil O'Donnell and Mike Tomczak. However, by then, Marinovich had lost his passion for the NFL and didn't want to return to the league. The Steelers ended up drafting Jim Miller instead, and Marinovich's brief and troubled NFL career came to an end. After a knee injury ended his attempt to join the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, Marinovich was introduced to heroin during recovery, leading to drug possession arrests and time in jail. Cleared to return to the NFL in 1999, he suffered another setback with a herniated disc. He briefly joined the BC Lions in the CFL, but his drug use escalated, causing him to leave the team. Marinovich then played for the Los Angeles Avengers in the Arena Football League, showing flashes of talent, including tying the record for most touchdowns in a game. However, his heroin addiction led to arrests and erratic behavior, and he was eventually suspended from the team. Despite moments of promise, his career was considered a disappointment, earning him a spot on ESPN's list of the 25 biggest sports flops. That is it for this one, but if you happen to like NFL Legends, make sure to check out our latest videos on our channel NFL Icons. I'm sure you will love it.